prepared to really make sure that you guys understand NFTs even better. I see the recording is on now also. Let me just really quick close that window here so I don't see that. That's perfect now. And then I just need to do here one more thing and then we are good to go. All right. So guys, for those of you who don't know me, like Leander already said, my name is Maurice Sommer. I am Chairman 25 and DCX educator in IM. I'm 26 years young. I'm in the profession of network marketing now for over 8 years. I got introduced to network marketing in January 2015. And when I saw network marketing for the first time, everything like was for me was like a big wow, because until that point where I saw network marketing for the first time, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be in the US before I'm 25, 26 years old, right? So 8 years back, my brain was like, yo, when you're at that age where I'm right now, then probably you're going to go to the US for the first time. You're going to see the world. You have saved some money. You work your way up, right? But I was never thinking like you can build something for your own. So this changed the entire game for me at that point. And I was going all in straight from that midday in early January 2015 when I saw network for the first time. And then I got introduced actually to cryptocurrencies, to Bitcoin to be exact. Also pretty early. It was also in like summer 2015 or like even earlier. Bitcoin was like $100 to $200. It was definitely below 200 when I got the opportunity to buy Bitcoin, but I didn't do it. And the reason why I didn't do it was because I didn't see any sense into like doing it, right? I was not seeing any like reason why I should spend my time on it. And then 2 years, not two, 1.5 years ago, it was August 2021. The same thing happened to me when I saw NFTs for the first time, because in cryptocurrencies, in Bitcoin and stuff like that, I started to invest 2 years later, 2017, end of 2017. So almost like 3 years after I joined network marketing, because I met Christopher Terry. And then Chris, for the first time, he explained Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and especially blockchain in a way to me, so I didn't understand it. And from that moment on, I knew why I need to spend some time on learning those skill sets, learning how crypto works, learning about blockchain, and learning about that future technology, right? And the only reason why I finally did it was because I understood it. And then the same thing was with NFTs in August 2021, when I got really like into it for the first time. The weeks and months before, when I heard about NFTs, I was like, I don't get it. Why should people buy pictures? Like, why should you do that? It's digital stuff. It makes no sense. I can't hold it in my hands. It's stupid, right? I didn't really understand it. And there was a specific moment where I saw that NFTs are basically changing the entire gaming industry in the future. And as soon as I realized that, I was like, okay, I got to pay attention on this. And then I figured out what NFTs really are. And I saw a reason why I should spend my time on it. For me, it was because I finally understood at least one thing, and that was NFTs are going to change the entire gaming industry. And for me, that was reason enough to finally be like, okay, I'm willing to spend my time on that. Today, I hope I can make it in 30 minutes. In the next 30 minutes, I try to show you multiple reasons for you to understand why you should invest your time in NFTs, why you should learn about blockchain, why you should invest your valuable time in that topic. Because the only reason why you're not doing it yet is because you're not understanding why you should do it. You're not understanding why you should spend your valuable time on doing it. And I'm not saying you should spend like 8 hours a day on it. You don't need to do that. I already do it for you. So you just join the sessions. You just get the value that I'm sharing, and also Mike, we are sharing on the NFT sessions. You just do that. You don't need to spend 8 hours a day. But what you need to do is at least spend a little bit of your time on it to learn about it. And most of all, get positioned into it. And with that being said, guys, let's jump into the presentation. First slide here says, what is an NFT? And now I want you guys to be honest. Who in this call, and don't spam it in the chat, just give me one, two. Give me a one single two in the chat. If the following is the fact for you, I already see twos. You don't even know why you should post it. Only posted 2 if you can't explain what an NFT is right now. Posted 2. Only 1. Don't spam it. And be honest, because you can see there's definitely a bunch of people, but it's crazy. I definitely expected more. I expected to see like 100 people. It's more like 30. That's crazy. All right. So that's really, really cool. So a lot of you already know what NFT is, but for those of you who don't know, there's a video, a really short one. I have a own one in German, but I'm working on the English one. It's taken time. It's not like it's gonna go that fast. But I'm also working on the English one. Meanwhile, I have looked for one on YouTube, and this one really explains in 3 minutes what an NFT is. Okay, so really spend the next 3 minutes being ultra focused on that video, take some notes, and it will definitely explain you what an NFT is, because this is the basic information that you need to understand for whatever is coming after this video inside my presentation, right? So I'm going to be muted for the next 3 minutes, and you please be really, really, really focused now and watch the video.
Meet Susan, an aspiring painter. She wishes to conduct an online painting exhibition for all her digital artworks. However, as the exhibition is online, she is worried that her paintings won't be secure, as anyone could easily forge or replicate them. Her friend Mark came to her rescue with an idea of NFT. He suggested that Susan could buy NFTs for all her paintings, as NFTs are trustworthy, easily transferable, and will also maintain her ownership rights on her artworks. Susan had no idea what NFTs were, so Mark stepped ahead and explained it to her. NFTs turn your digital assets into one of a kind by creating a unique digital signature, which defines the ownership of your assets, and that can be bought and sold for real money, cryptocurrency, or any other asset, like a non-fungible token, aka NFT. Non-fungible tokens means that they are not interchangeable, and each of them represents unique assets owned by a specific person. On the other hand, fungible tokens are interchangeable and can be divided into smaller units to form the same value. For example, a $100 bill is fungible, as you can exchange it with 5 $20 bills or 2 $50 bills. But the painting of the Last Supper is non-fungible, as it cannot be generated in bulk. Even if it is copied, it will not be authentic. Each NFT contains distinguishable information like who owns the digital asset and who sold it, making them distinct and easily verifiable. As it is impossible to forge such a certificate, it will secure her painting's originality. After learning what NFT is, Susan was curious to know how exactly NFT works. NFT basically creates a blockchain-based digital certificate for your digital collectibles, including games, music, art, and many more. This certificate gives your artwork a unique identity. The underlying technology and the programming language used by NFTs are the same as other cryptocurrencies, such as blockchain and the programming language Ethash or Script. NFT majorly exists on Ethereum blockchain, a distributed public ledger that records all the transactions. However, NFT is quite different from these cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin and Ethereum are fungible tokens, which means if you trade Bitcoin or Ethereum for one another, you will have the same value or item in return, basically money. On the other hand, NFT is a unique token. Therefore, if you try to trade it, you may end up with something completely different in your hands. CryptoPunks is a remarkable example of NFT. It enables you to buy, sell, and store 10,000 collectibles with the proof of ownership being stored on the Ethereum blockchain. After exploring how NFTs work, Susan was convinced and bought NFTs for all her paintings. Due to this, her artworks were secured from any kind of forgery and also gave her artworks a particular value. This contributed to increased sales too, as everyone was easily able to buy the artwork without any fear. All in all, her exhibition was a complete success. Similarly, NFT has proved itself to be a boon in the lives of many others, like Jack Dorsey, the CEO and co-founder of Twitter with his very first and famous tweet, just setting up on Twitter, and Vignesh Sundarasan, famously known as Metakovan, who bought $69.3 million worth of NFT art on Beeple. Owing to its increasing popularity, people are now willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for NFTs. NFT has enhanced media exposure and special perks for aspiring artists like Susan on social media. This popularity of NFT creates new opportunities for new art platforms, motivating people to buy art from internet platforms and promoting copyright or originality of digital assets. So, here is a question for you. What makes any item non-fungible? A. Exchangeability.
All right. So that's enough, guys. You definitely, hopefully, have a little bit of more knowledge now on what an NFT is. The main thing that you need to understand, the main thing that you need to know is that NFTs at the end of the day are a digital form of proof of ownership, right? You can prove that you own something in a digital way. And this will be so meaningful in the future. One of the reasons also for that, and I just want to tell you guys that so you really understand how early we are. One of the reasons why digital goods and digital assets will matter more and more and more in the future is because it already matters to a specific group of people, and it matters a lot to them. You know what was mattering to me and to my friends when I was going to school? We were collecting like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards, for example. And whoever had the most rare Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards was somehow also the coolest guy in the school, right? So you wanted to have the most rare, the best cards that were on the market, right? And now these things changed. Now it's not the coolest 15-year-old with the best Pokemon cards or whatever. In some rare cases, maybe it is, but mainly the coolest 15-year-old is the one with the most rare Fortnite skin. It's digital assets. It's digital assets that matter to young people way, way, way more than physical goods. For my 15-year-old cousin, he doesn't need to hold the Fortnite skin in his hands. He doesn't need to. He has it in his account. It's in his account. He can show it on his phone. He has his Fortnite account on his phone also. He can go to his friends and he just shows them and flexes them with his new Fortnite skin and whatsoever, right? And this is what matters to people, to young people, way more than physical stuff. But what you all need to understand is those 10 to 15-year-olds, they're growing and they're getting older. And in 5 to 10 years, they're 20 to 25 years old. And then they're the market. They're the ones building the next, all those companies you're seeing here in the middle circle. They're the ones building the next Facebook, the next Snapchat, the next Twitter, the next, and so on, right? And those people, digital goods, digital assets, they matter to them because since they're small babies, they got trained on digital assets do matter to you because they grew up and they already have an iPad in their hand with 4 or 5-year-olds, right? It's different to when I grew up, or maybe also most of you. It's not the same. So the world is changing. And also this slide is showing you guys how much the world is changing. You see Web 1. Web 1 was the beginning of the internet. So when the internet started, and let's first of all say something, when the internet started, people didn't believe in it. Most people did not believe that the internet is going to change the world, right? And if you don't think so, ask your parents, ask whoever is like old enough and was like old enough at the year like 2000, 1995 to 2000 to really know how it was with the internet. People were not believing in it. It was crazy if you had a computer. People didn't go to like Google to Google something or like to search for something. They were going into the library and into the library, and then they were going for some books, and then they were reading. Like it's different than it is now, right? But people were not believing in it in the first place. But it took just a few years because like at the year 2000, there was the big bubble, the dot-com bubble. Maybe you've heard about that. All the big internet companies back then, Google, Microsoft, and all of them, they were crashing. Like their stocks were crashing. People thought it's over. People thought now it's done. Internet is done now. It's over. We told you all it's over. And just a few years later, it was exploding. Mass adoption was there. Everyone was using it. Why was everyone using it? Because it was better. The internet was just better than anything else that we had at that point. You couldn't compare it to anything. It was just better. The next thing came out, social media. Social media at the beginning, people were hating it. Like my mom, when I was 12 years old, I was using Facebook for the first time. That's 14 years ago. I was seeing Facebook for the first time through some friends. They sent me an invite link to Facebook because you needed that back then. I signed up. My mom figured out. She was mad at me. That's 14 years ago. She was telling me you can't use Facebook anymore. 14 years later, now I don't want to use Facebook anymore, but my mom's on Facebook every single day. You know, world is changing. Social media at the beginning, people were hating it. People were like, nah, into social media, not good. Nah, you can't share stuff in the internet, blah, 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 blah. Now everyone's using it, everyone. So social media, same thing. Then smartphones came out, same thing. People were not believing in it, not just people, also companies. Where's Nokia now? Where's BlackBerry now? They were the biggest. Nokia was the biggest mobile phone company in the world. Tell someone 20 years ago that Nokia is not going to be there in 20 years. They're going to be like, you stupid? Maybe not 20, maybe more like, oh, yeah, 20. That's 2003. Yeah, of course, like 20 years ago. Tell them, they would be like, you stupid? Nokia is not going anywhere. They're away. They're gone. Why? Because they were not believing that smartphones are the future. They were sticking to their keyboards. They were believing keyboards are more important than apps. They were just not getting it. BlackBerry, same thing. So it's not just people, it's also big companies. The biggest companies you know right now, many of them, if not 80 to 90% or even more, are not going to be here in 10, 15 years because they are not making it from Web 2 to Web 3. And what Web 3 is blockchain. That's everything that is related to blockchain, cryptocurrency. It's digital ownership over like coins or specifically tokens in the case of an NFT. And it's going to be the same. It's already the same for crypto. People were not believing in crypto at the beginning. Now people understand more and more the advantages of crypto and why crypto will definitely change a lot in this world. And it's the same for NFTs. People are not believing in it. People are like, you can take a screenshot of my I can take a screenshot of that ape, and then I also have it as my profile picture. Nice, congrats. It takes me 2 seconds to go into the blockchain and look up if you're actually the owner of that ape or not. The only reason people are saying that is because they're not understanding blockchain. The only reason people saying you can screenshot an NFT is because people think NFTs are in the internet, but they're not. Like you see them on internet websites and stuff, yeah, but they have their home on the blockchain. And that's something completely different. And now please write down the following sentence. I'm gonna say it 2 times. The same thing, or like the same way how the internet changed the way of how we get informations, the same way of the internet changing our way of getting informations. In the same way, blockchain will change the way of transactions. All right. So in the same way, like the internet changed the way of how we get informations, in the same way, the blockchain will change the way of how we do transactions. Everything in this world will work on blockchains in the future. And I tell you why. Because of the same reason why we all use the internet right now, because it's just better. The same reasons why we're using smartphones, not BlackBerry keyboard phones, because it's just better. The same reason we will use blockchain in the future, because it's just better. Because it does so much for us without, you don't need people for specific things anymore. Like there's like when you want to found a company, or if you want to buy property or whatsoever, you need to go to like a, what's that in English? Notar. Notary. To a notary. You need to go to a notary to make sure, like, to do the signs and everything, so he can prove everything's being right, blah, 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 blah. You don't need that in the future. Blockchain is going to do that. Smart contracts are going to do that. You don't need like contracts in the future where you would tell like, okay, I sell you this and then I get like 5% of your company, and then someone is screwing you over and like is moving their company to another country, and then you can't do anything against it. All of that. That's not going to happen in the future because of blockchain, guys. And this is the reason why NFTs will matter. And now I'm going to show you just some few examples why NFTs will matter so much in the future. So we have 5 topics. We have digital certificate, IP brand building, which is, oh my God, I could speak just about that for so long. Royalties, which is one of the biggest, it's the biggest reason why so many Web2 companies, all of the companies that you know, are stepping into Web3 right now, and they want to build something with NFTs. Reason for that is royalties. Utility, that's at the end of the day, the use case for you, like the reason why you're holding an NFT. And then also, if I want to say a few words about gaming, because this is what brought me really into NFTs. This is what really caught my attention. So first of all, digital certificate. There's 5 different ways, for example, of how we're going to use digital certificates in the future with NFTs, or especially how companies are going to use them. So proof of manufacture, just for as an example. So you know where all the thing, or like all the pieces you need for like a machinery, for example, where they're coming from, which ones were used, which ones are there just additionally, if something's missing, all of that. You need an NFT to like 100% secure that everything is right, because most of the other things in this world can be faked. And that's the main reason why we want to use digital certificates, because you can't fake them. You can't replace them. You can't do a copy of them, right? So proof of manufacture, for example, we're going to use digital certificates for that. We're going to use them for combating product piracy. Like maybe some of you always wanted to buy a Rolex. So once in your life, you want to buy a Rolex. Maybe it's a goal of yourself. Maybe you know someone who bought a Rolex. Maybe you already bought one. And if you do, or if you did, you maybe know that there's like just two options to get them. Either you get them at Rolex directly, which is hard and maybe can take a few years, or you go to someone who's like a watch dealer, right? And you buy it from them. But what if you don't trust them 100%? When you buy the watch from them, you don't know for 100% if it's legit, if it's 100% legit, if someone in the past maybe stole it, if it should be in this man's hand, or maybe it's stolen from someone else, right? You don't know all of that. So for those things, for example, we're gonna use NFTs, so we know for 100% that something is legit. Digital ID, it's already happening in Sweden, for example. In Sweden, they have their IDs, their ID cards, as on their phone. It's not in a physical way anymore. Like in Germany, I don't know how it's in the Netherlands. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. Like in Germany, you still can get them. Like, give me a thumbs up if you can still get them in a physical way when you get a new one. Like, is it? Yeah. So in Sweden, for example, you can't get them in a physical way anymore. Like, if you have it already, congrats, you still have it, nice. But for someone who's needing a new one because it expired or lost it or whatever, you're gonna get it on your phone, right? And all of those things, your ID card, your driver license, your passport, maybe even your freaking vaccine card thing, whatever, all of that is going to be an NFT in the future. And it's probably not being called NFT. People will not even realize that they are using an NFT while they are using an NFT. This is how the future will be. People will not realize that they use an NFT while they are using an NFT. Yeah. And this is, for example, this is going to happen, for example, like I said, for IDs, for passports and all of that. Digital license proof, same thing, especially for like pharmacy and industries like that. Digital license proof will be a huge topic for NFTs. And then also hedging of financial transfers. This can be companies, this can be property. Also for those things, it's really, really interesting. Mike Sotero actually yesterday on our NF Tuesday. So if you're on the DCX package, you have access to the DCX Go Live. So you can watch our new channel that was created yesterday for our NF Tuesdays that I'm going to speak at the end for 1 or 2 sentences about. You're going to see on this session something that is referring to like hedging of financial transfers. Mike was showing there how NFTs will be used in the future for property especially. So the next thing I want to speak about is IP brand building. And what you're seeing here, guys, is you see those apes, and maybe you have seen those apes before. If you haven't seen them before, this is the most expensive NFT right now. It's called Bored Ape Yacht Club, and believe it or not, the cheapest Bored Ape that you can get right now costs between $110,000 and $120,000. This is the cheapest that you can get right now, and there's 10,000 of them. 10,000 of them, and the cheapest one you can get costs 6 figures. All right. So we're talking about really like the most expensive NFTs right now in this world. And then you also see on the French fries, on the burger, and also on the M&Ms, the second from the right side, you see that they're looking a little bit different. That's mutants. That's the mutant apes, like the mutant versions of the original OG apes. And they're around $25,000 right now. The reason why I'm telling you this is so you first of all understand that these assets are really, really, really expensive. And people who buy them don't just buy them for fun. Those people who actually bought those did that for IP brand building. So what they're doing here is they used their Bored Ape and the Two Mutants to create Bored and Hungry. Bored and Hungry is a burger restaurant in California. And their goal is to have a big, big brand all around the world. Their goal is to have, even like in the Netherlands, in, I don't know where you're coming from, maybe Rotterdam or Amsterdam or wherever. Let's just say you're in Amsterdam and you're in front of Bored and Hungry. But right next to Bored and Hungry, there's also McDonald's and Burger King, and there's KFC, and there's Subway, and there's all the fast food you can imagine, right? Everything, even the special ones from the Netherlands that I don't know. All of them are right next to each other. But you decide to go into Bored and Hungry because you see the apes. I would already do it because I know what they are. The majority of people, they don't know yet, but they will in the future. And this is what Yuga Labs, the company behind Bored Ape Yacht Club, is doing. They making sure that in the future, everyone knows what that is, what a Bored Ape is. And I'm going to show you how, for example, they are already doing this. It's pretty cool. Like you all know Adidas, I'm pretty sure. And what Adidas did is for their last ad for the World Championship in Qatar. Can you see this? I don't see my camera, so I don't know if you can see this. Where is it? Here. Do you see this ape here? Can you see the ape? This is Adidas. Like this is their official video on their YouTube. It has 1.6 million views on YouTube, and they used it to run this ad all around the world for the World Championship in Qatar. And what you see here is a Bored Ape in second 13. In second 13, out of that 1 minute ad from Adidas, you see a Bored Ape. Adidas is already using their IP. If Adidas is already using their Bored Ape IP and you don't even know what a Bored Ape is, maybe it's time to spend a little bit of time into it, because the big companies in this world, they're already aware of it. And some of them are already using it. So also the owners of those Bored Apes that you can see on the M&Ms, they are actually the ones who went to M&M and said, hey, we want to bring out a limited edition with you all called Kingship. So it was not Yuga Labs. It was not the company behind Bored Ape Yacht Club doing all of this, creating Bored and Hungry, doing the collaboration with M&Ms. No, it was people using their IP. Like this is, for example, one of my favorite projects. It's a Quirkling 101 from the Quirkies and Quirkling collection. And this 101, when I showed it to my girlfriend for the first time, first thing she said is, oh, I see that one on a gum. I'm like, this could be like the branding for a gum. So I'm going to bring out Yeti gum. And this is going to be the IP for it. This is going to be my intellectual, like this is my intellectual property. That's what IP stands for. And you can use it to build brands around it. Major companies in the future, they won't even be like able to like afford something like a Bored Ape, probably. And then what it will happen is people will rent it out. People will give companies their asset so they can build a brand around it. And then you get maybe a 10, 20% share of their revenue or whatsoever, right? So there's going to be a lot of really, really nice IP plays that we will see in the future with NFTs. Royalties, as I said before, is the biggest reason that Web2 companies are going into Web3 right now and looking into NFTs. So the first thing is luxury brands. Just as an example, I already said Rolex before. So let's just stick on Rolex, talking about luxury brands. Imagine Rolex would get a 1% royalty on every single sale that they are making. And I'm not talking about their sales that they're making when you buy the watch at Rolex, what is rarely ever happening. I'm talking about those sales on the secondary market when you go to a watch dealer. And then imagine he would need to give 1% of this sale to Rolex. And this would happen every single time. Rolex would never, they never would need to sell a watch again, because the residual income they would make just with that 1% royalty is insane. But it's not happening, and Rolex doesn't like it. And now imagine that from the year 2030, for example, let's just say that Rolex says, hey, from now on, when you buy a watch at Rolex, we're not just giving you the watch box and papers, what you need to verify that it's yours. No, we're also going to give you an NFT. So we can 100% be sure that you own the watch. So if you want to repair it at our store, you got to have the NFT. If you don't have the NFT, you can't repair the watch. And then people from now on need to sell the watch by selling the NFT. And by doing that, Rolex gets a 1% royalty on every single sale that is happening from now on new watches released after that specific date. We could see that, guys, for sure. One thing that we are already seeing is royalties for sneakers. You all know Nike, and probably most of you know brands like Off-White. Nike is doing a lot of Nike Off-White collaborations on shoes. So Off-White is a luxury brand, a designer brand from Italy. And when they bring out a shoe with Nike, let's say, for example, there's a supply of 50,000 of them, but there's millions of people who want the shoe. So what is happening is prices are going up, and it's very hard to get the shoe at the release, because at the release, the shoes are at the regular price. For Air Force, $150, for example. So if you're getting lucky enough to get the shoe, you're paying $150 for the shoe. And what is happening then is, as soon as it arrives at your home, the shoe is not worth $150. It's probably worth already like $1,500, already 10x, because there's only 50,000 of those Off-White Nike shoe in a specific colorway, but millions of people who want it. So that determines the price. And now when you're selling the shoe, Nike doesn't get a single royalty on that. In the future, this is going to change. And it's already changing right now. Nike already has 50,000 different digital shoes as NFTs. I actually own 8 of them. Now you're wondering, how do you own 8 of them? How do you have NFT sneakers from Nike? I tell you, because I have this one here. Maybe you remember at the beginning, I showed you, like on the left side here, you can see my clone with like the rabbit ears. And you also can see the VR glass, which says Artifact on it, and also that logo under it. The logo is the logo from Artifact, pretty similar already to Nike. And Artifact is the metaverse Web3 crypto company from Nike. It's owned by Nike. It was created originally separate from Nike, and Nike bought that company at the end of 2021 after they released the 20,000 avatars, the clones, and 15% of them were made with Takashi Murakami. Maybe you have heard about him. He's a pretty big designer from Japan. And like especially the Asian people, they all know him. He also helped creating that collection. And by owning this one, I got some shoes from Nike for free. And for some shoes, I got the ability to buy them, right? So now what I can do with the shoe is, like, most of them, you can't wear them in physics right now, but you will be able to order it this year. So until then, I have 2 options. Either I just hold them, or I could, what I don't do, but I could sell them. One of those shoes is, for example, worth $1,000. So if I would decide to sell it now to someone, 5% of that selling price would go to Nike. And this is already happening every single day for the 50,000 shoes that they have on the marketplace already. Now, 50,000 shoes is sweet, but think about Nike having millions and millions and millions of shoes on the marketplace. And every single time one of the shoes is selling, they're getting a 5% royalty on it. It's insane. What all of those companies will do in the future is building residual income, something that we are already doing here at IAM. But those companies actually be able to do that in an additional, really smart way in the future with the help of the technology of non-fungible tokens with blockchain. And the other things that you're seeing, because I see we're tight on time, even flight tickets will be a digital asset in the future. Music, already there's a lot of artists and musicians from the US, they're already having their album as an NFT. Why? Because now they can be independent. Now they don't need a label anymore, because the biggest reason why you need a label is so they can give you upfront money, so they can give you some money that you can do like the promo with, so you can pay for the video that you're making for your album and all of that stuff. But what if you just set up an NFT, and whoever buys it, which will be your listeners, the people who listen to your music, they're gonna buy your NFT because they get the album with it, they get some merch, they get a ticket for the next concert, they get an exclusive meet and greet opportunity, they get this, and this. So they're gonna buy the NFT, and you're gonna get money before you even brought out the album. So you don't need the label anymore. So now you're independent. So now you get $10 per album and not one. NFTs are changing the entire music industry, guys. It's already happening, and it's gonna be crazy in the future and in the next couple of years. And besides that, there's utility. Utility is what you're getting for holding the NFT. Airdrops, I just spoke about it. The shoes, for example, I got from Nike by holding their avatar, was an airdrop, was an asset, for example, an additional asset that I got. So you can get additional assets by holding specific NFTs. You can get access to events. Gary Vaynerchuk, hopefully most of you know him. Gary Vee has his own NFT project called V Friends. And by owning a V Friend, you get access to the Gary Vee Con, which is the Gary Vee convention happening one time a year. And his NFT is your access ticket to that convention, right? So any events can be a utility. Restaurants. I was just in Miami last week. There's a restaurant that you can only enter by having their NFT. And they're that successful that they're already building their restaurants in all of the major cities around the world. And you can only access them by having the NFT. And customer experience. Guys, we don't have the time for that. I can speak hours and hours about customer experience. There's so much different customer experience we're gonna see with NFTs for the future, because now you don't have, let's just say a membership, for example. Now you don't just have a membership that you pay $20 every single month for, and as soon as you stop it, you don't pay for it anymore, but then you also can't sell your membership. No, just imagine you pay a one-time fee for your membership, and when you don't need it anymore, you can sell your membership to someone else. And maybe in that time, the membership even grew in value because what you're getting inside grew, and then you even can sell your membership for profit and you still got all the value, right? So think about that. Customer experience in the future is going to be insane. And last but not least, gaming, guys. Play to earn was where I understood that NFTs are going to change the entire gaming industry, because with the help of blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs, you're giving people the possibility to play to earn. Means that they can play a game and earn money while they're playing. You need to be a pro player. You don't need to be a Twitch streamer. You don't need to be a YouTube star. You can just play and earn. And this is going to change everything for sure, because why should people play a game when they're not earning something on it, while they could play the exact same game, look in exactly the same way, just having a different name, but also earning money with it while they're playing. No one's going to play the other game where you're not earning any money on. And then also digital ownership, the Fortnite skins that I mentioned at the beginning. If Epic Games is not here anymore tomorrow, your little brother will lose all his Fortnite skins. They're just not there anymore because there are no NFTs. They're digital assets. Yeah, they're not really assets. They're digital goods, right? But they're not really assets. They're not really NFTs. But games are already doing that. So you can just take your NFT and take it from one game to the other, right? So definitely this will change the game. And with that being said, guys, here's the sessions. Here's where you're gonna get your NFT education every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Europe time, which you all should be on also. I believe it's the same time in the Netherlands. So 8 p.m. Central Europe, you have the NF Tuesdays with Mr. DeFi Mike Sotero, who will speak right now next after me. And we just did our first session yesterday. It was an amazing session. Definitely check it out. I got amazing feedback. People were saying it was the best NFT session ever, and we're doing this now for over 3.5 months. So now I feel bad because people think it was the best ever since Mike's on. So maybe he should just like take over from here. And I'm just kidding, but people really, really, really were loving it. And it was an insane session. So definitely check it out. My German one is at 6 p.m. and my English one for all of you guys is at 7 p.m. Central Europe every single Sunday. So make sure you tune in every Sunday. Also on Tuesdays, we have the DCX Roundtable Best Session of the Week, because you have all the major educators of DCX in one session, and they will get you their input. Some are like experts in Bitcoin, some are experts in Ethereum, some are experts in like some specific tools on DCX. You will also get some input from me on NFTs. So yeah, definitely make sure you do that. And last but not least, before I go to Mike, I just saw that I don't have it in my English one. I need to change that. But here you also see how you can get started now. For those of you who are like, how do I get started now? How can I start with NFTs? Go on my English channel on DCX, go into the favorite sessions, and then click on basic and the security and the project and trade academy sessions. You're going to see them. They have different thumbnails, so you will see which ones they are. Maybe make a screenshot or a photo of this one, but definitely make sure you're not doing anything with NFTs before you have watched basic and especially the security session. So your assets are secure and they're not getting stolen. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for having me on here. Thank you so much, Leander, also for making sure that we have this call. And now we have someone really, really special for you all to speak about how he got into NFTs and also why Mike. And he is like an educator, guys, for so much longer. Mike is educator for years now, for years and years and years. And everyone who's plugged on DCX for months already definitely knows Mike. Everyone loves Mike because he's doing the best analysis on cryptocurrencies. Like, people also told me yesterday, they have never understood someone speaking on a chart that good like Mikey when he explains things on the chart. He just makes it simple, and I'm really honored to have him now as my partner for DCX and NF Tuesday. I wanted to say for NF Tuesday, having him on as a partner is really an honor for me. Mike is a big, big, big guy in NFTs. He has way more followers on Twitter than I have, and he's connected to really, really, really great people all around the world in the Web3 space. He has made himself a name already in the Web3 and NFT space, and people know him not as Mike Sotero, but as DeFi Mike. This is his name. How most of the people definitely know him. So let me just see here. He should be definitely here already. I'm gonna give you, I don't know if I can give you the host or what I can do. I see they already gave you the mic. So Mike has the mic now, which is great, bro. I'm really, really happy to have you on here. Let the people know, give the people your wisdom, and thank you so much for making the time, brother.
Of course, guys. Drop some ones for Maurice. One of the best to do it. And really shout out to you guys. You know, Maurice gave you pretty much the starting point, exactly what you need to know to get started. If you don't believe in NFTs, this is like you not believing in Bitcoin in 2015. A lot of people didn't believe it either. And you saw what happened afterwards. So I'll just share a couple thoughts. Maurice did an incredible job at explaining it. And, you know, Maurice talked about some of the reasons, some of the utility. Now with DCX, we're bringing you everything in crypto, in Web3, everything. So whether it's leveraged ideas, portfolio ideas, right? If you guys have been taking my exchange ideas the past 3 to 4 months, hopefully you're doing well, right? Maurice is going to be taking over the NFT alpha chat, right? So in DCX, we've put together a package that you really can't afford not to have. Now, let me explain something to you real quick. Now, Maurice showed you some of the NFTs with like, you know, profile, PFPs, some of the utility, some of the games. I want to, in the comments real quick, what country are you living in? Put what country you live in the chat box really quickly. Because this, what I'm going to show you that's happening in other countries is coming to your country in the next, I would say the next 12 to 36 months. So Netherlands, most people, Germany, Switzerland. So right now in Colombia, they're using the XRP blockchain, where somebody can take they can take their address, they can document it on the blockchain, and on this website right here, if we come in here, we could actually go to this and look up who actually owns this house. Now, I want you to think about this. So let's actually go to this website. It's going to be in Spanish, but it's okay. I want you to think about this. If you're in Dubai, or if you're in Rotterdam, or if you're in Austria, and let's say you own a property and you pass away, sometimes people are like, well, who gets to own the house, right? So what was the number here? It was 11774. So if I type in this number, so this would be the identification number, this is the certificate on the XRP blockchain that this person, this is a crypto wallet, this is the person, the beneficiary who owns this house. Guess what? I could download the certificate and you would see it pop up right here with this barcode. See, NFTs, like Maurice said, it gives you ownership. It gives you transparency. Now, I want you to think about this one step further. What if you owned a house, Simon, in Austria, and you said, hey, today I want to sell my house? What do you have to do? You have to go find a realtor or whatever the process is in your country. Well, how cool would it be to take the house that you already have the certificate? It's already minted on the blockchain. You can't mess with those paper. It's cemented. And what if you said, okay, just think with me for a second. Let's pretend Looks Rare was a real estate marketplace. Okay, I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna list my house. Minted means to create, to have ownership of. And Maurice has that in his training videos, those 3 videos that he shared with you. Okay. So minted, after it's minted, it's you have ownership of it, right? You create the NFT. Okay. So how crazy would it be if I take this certificate, I put it on a marketplace, and instead of us looking at pictures of mutant apes, what if all of these were different houses? And all you had to do was come in here, connect your wallet, and you could purchase that property. You could purchase that car. You could purchase that movie ticket. You could purchase that game to the World Cup. That's where the future is going. And if you don't agree, or if you don't believe, they didn't believe earlier on as well. So it's okay. You know, if you follow everybody else, you get what everybody else has. So I'm not going to think like everybody else. I'm going to think for myself. Go back and watch our session that we did yesterday if you missed it. So when you're dealing with NFTs, most NFTs you're dealing with the Ethereum blockchain. This is a website right here. You can save it, cryptoslam.io. We'll teach you how to really use this site on our sessions. But it shows us that today, Ethereum sales are up 4%. And these are all different blockchains. We're going to focus on ETH. Chat. We're going to focus on ETH, but we will talk about some other blockchains and some other projects. Now, when you buy, NFTs, you're dealing with what? You're dealing with the price of Ethereum. And if you guys were on yesterday's class, how many of you guys were on yesterday's class? We talked about ETH making its way back up here. Yes, I'm in DCX since yesterday. Amazing. If you don't have DCX, I encourage you to get it. Not because me and Maurice teach on it, but because this information you can't afford not to have. And I really, really mean that. Because we're going to be breaking down on the sessions when is the best time that we think is the best time to get into Ethereum. Now, right now, Ethereum is going up. So if you would have bought an NFT, let's say that was 1 Ethereum, when ETH was at 1,000, and let's say that NFT is still worth 1 ETH, in fiat, you're actually up 60% on your money. So where do I think ETH can go? Well, actually, about an hour ago, the Fed, okay, the Federal Reserve. How many of you guys don't know what the Federal Reserve is? It is separate from the US government. They are in charge of keeping inflation in the United States down. In the United States, inflation has been an issue. It's probably been an issue in your country as well, right? Most countries. I know in Switzerland, everybody's rich, so maybe not in Switzerland, but in most countries, things cost more money. Well, about an hour ago, the Federal Reserve raised our interest rates again. And you know what I think we're going to see? We're going to see crypto and stocks go up more. And you know what most people are going to do when it goes up more? They're going to buy more. And then you know what the market's going to do? The market is going to take their money. I think we could see ETH come up to 1900, 1900, and then slowly start to move back to the downside. So what does this mean, Mike? It means that you need to be in these sessions, and we're going to help you find good projects, right? Whether it's Corkies, whether it's Sappy Seals, right? We're going to be breaking down a lot of these projects on the sessions, right? Why would I want to own this Corky looking thing? We're going to talk about that in the sessions. We're going to show you actually how to flip and actually how to become profitable in trading NFTs. You see, you can make money on leverage. How many people are taking the swipe coin ideas? Okay. Anybody taking the swipe coin ideas? How many people are building a portfolio? If you've been paying attention to the portfolio in the crypto coins, you should be in profit. Okay. And if you're not building your portfolio, I'm going to share one last thing with you here for a second. I want to show you, I want to show you really a cycle that you can use here, okay? And we call this the DCX cycle, where you can take, let's say you are trading on MT4, and you can take these profits and you can move it into your portfolio. I'm just going to put the word port. And then you can take some of those profits and move it into NFTs. And you know what the whole purpose of, you know what the whole purpose is to rinse and repeat. And whether you go this way or this way, it doesn't really matter. But the moral of the story is you have to have money flowing. Broke people try to just save, and that's why they never get wealthy or they never get rich, because they don't understand when there's fear, right? I know Maurice talked about some of the NFTs like Mutant Apes. They went to 10 ETH. ETH was 1,000. Exactly, it's a double risk, but it's also a double gain. So we're going to be showing you guys on our sessions how to grow this NFT portfolio. Obviously, in DCX, we show you how to build your coin portfolio as well, and MT4. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you can commit to being a part of these sessions. Okay, right now you're looking at assets. And Maurice, I saw Maurice talking about IP use. And why would he buy a certain a profile picture, right? You know, don't even worry about the NFTs that we have. But all I'm going to tell you is this: I've been able to meet people that I would not have been able to meet if I didn't have a Mutant Ape. I've been able to meet people in other communities that I've enrolled into I Am Mastery Academy, that I've done business deals outside of this company with because of NFTs, because of the community that it builds. And you guys are in Europe, right? This is a European-based Zoom call. NFTs, people are still skeptical about, right? In Europe. Tell me yes or no in the chat. People are probably really skeptical in Europe about NFTs. Yes or no in the chat. Isn't that the best time to get in? Because first they're skeptical and then they start buying. In the United States, people were skeptical 2 years ago. Now there's NFT Miami, NFT LA, NFT New York, the New York City mayor, the Miami mayor. These are politicians that speak at the NFT events in the United States. The regulation is going to be good, in my opinion, for NFTs. Why? This is going to flood. Forget the pictures. This is going to flood into real estate, into the insurance. This is going to flood into all your daily life. You will not even ever need to go on a website to get a movie ticket. You'll be able to purchase an NFT for a year or forever, and you can resell that movie pass to go watch that, to go to that movie theater. And you may even be able to make money on it. NFT is not a picture of a mutant ape. Okay, it's the technology behind it. It's every time it's sold, you can get a percentage. Think about this last point, and then I'm going to pass it back to the host. Let's say Simon, he builds a house in Rotterdam. Let's say the house cost him. Let's say he builds the house. Let's say the house costs him 300,000 euros. I don't know if it would cost that or less or more. Let's say he sells the house to John for 350,000 euros. How much money did he make? Okay. He made 50,000 euros. In the traditional world, that's it. Transaction is done. But what if this house was minted on the blockchain with a 5% royalty forever? I want you to think. I know Maurice talked about royalties. So when he sold his house, he made 50,000 euros plus 5% of this transaction. Well, what happens in real estate over time? Price goes up. So let's say Sally comes in, she buys that same house for 650,000 euros. What's 5%? Let's ask Siri. What is 5% of 650,000? $32,000. John is Simon is in the Bahamas. He wasn't even involved in this transaction, but because there was a 5% royalty, he made $32,000 on a secondary sale. And what if it happens again and again and again and again? That's what you're going to see happen all around the world. Who pays the? It's in the contract. It's in the smart contract. So yeah, that 350,000, yes, the buyer's paying that. But instead of that money going to a realtor or to a company, it goes to the creator of the house or the creator of whatever that item is. Does that make sense, everybody? Yes or no? John's not getting anything because he didn't build the house. Now there would be different structures. I'm just trying to get you guys to think. So whoever created maybe the property or whoever built the car, this is an idea that I already see starting to pay off. 650,000 will go to John, 32,000 will go to this first person. Guys, this is just something to start thinking about. If you're not involved in NFTs, it's going to come into so many different areas of your life. So we're going to make sure you're educated on our sessions. Maurice showed you the schedule. We're going to make sure that you're prepared and ready. Me and Kurt do sessions where we're talking about all different types of things. Maurice has sessions in multiple languages. You have Nick Gomez. We have an incredible team built around bringing you guys value. How many of you guys see value in DCX? How many of you guys see value in this company? Right? All roads lead to Rotterdam, right? We're going to be there. There's going to be events going on at the event this year. Don't be the person who follows everybody else in this season, because everybody here said they were skeptical people around them. It will be the most dangerous thing in a year from now. So I'm going to pass this back to the host. I'm not sure who's hosting this call. I appreciate the invitation. Maurice, thank you for the invitation. And I'm going to pass it back over to whoever's hosting.
Yes, thank you very much, Mike. Thank you for
everything. What's up, bro? Appreciate it.
Yeah. So guys, every one of you should now understand the value from DCX. Everyone should now understand why you should hop on DCX. Yeah. Better now than later, because you have to understand it later anyways. Okay, so get now on the DCX. Yeah, Mike and Maurice did a very good job, and I think all of you guys now had like a very good click moments. And you know that emoji where the head is like exploding. I saw the cameras and I saw some guys like looking just like that. So really hop on those sessions, get educated, and yeah, get into DCX before everyone does it. Let's get it, guys. I wish you all a great day. Thanks again to you, Mike. Thanks again to you, Maurice. We really appreciate your work and everything you do for us. So guys, let's see you. Bye-bye.